All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to unpack a pretty wild story. It kicks off with a problem that, let's be honest, we all know way too well, but it ends with this just audacious multi-million-dollar plan to basically manufacture fame for a product by plugging it right into the things we're most passionate about.
You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach when you're staring at the empty baggage carousel. The panic starts to set in, and you just feel totally helpless. It's a feeling that connects pretty much anyone who's ever lost something they cared about.
And look, this is not some small niche problem. The scale of this is just staggering. In 2022 alone, 26 million bags got lost, delayed, or damaged. That works out to almost 8 bags for every single 1,000 passengers. It's a massive headache for airlines and a huge stress for all of us.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. It points to this thing called the finder's dilemma. See, most people are actually good. One study even found that 72% of people tried to return a wallet they found with $100 cash inside. But that goodwill just hits a brick wall. You don't know who to call, you're worried about your privacy, there's just no easy way to do the right thing.
So that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got all these good people wanting to help, and you've got tech that's not quite cutting it. How do you finally connect those dots and make it dead simple for people to help each other out? Well, this brings us to a company called ReboundTAG, and they're looking at this whole problem from a totally different angle. Their idea isn't about you finding your stuff, it's about making it easy for the finder to do the work for you, tapping into that basic human kindness.
So you're probably thinking, how is this any different from my AirTag? Well, things like AirTags and tiles, they're all about you tracking your bag. They need batteries, they need a Bluetooth network, and honestly, they do absolutely nothing to help the person who actually finds your lost item. ReboundTAG is the opposite. It's battery-free, passive tech that's designed from the ground up to make the return process totally frictionless for the finder.
And the process itself? It's so simple, it's brilliant. The finder doesn't need to download an app or have any special tech. They just scan a QR code, tap it with their phone, or even just go online and type in the ID number printed on the tag. Boom. The owner gets an instant text and email, and the system connects the two of them, totally anonymously, protecting everyone's privacy. All that friction is just gone.
And you need to know, this isn't just some random startup with a clever gadget. These guys have deep, serious industry cred. They're integrated with the CETA World Tracer System, which is the lost luggage network used in over 2,800 airports. They were even invited by IATA, that's the main airline standards body, to help them design global microchip standards. That's some serious trust from the inside.
Okay, so, great product? Check. But a great product is rarely enough, right? So now we get to the really wild part. Their massive, multi-million-dollar strategy to manufacture fame and make this thing a household name, and do it fast.
Now their strategy is not just, let's buy a bunch of ads. No way. It's much smarter. The plan is to strategically weave the ReboundTAG brand into the very fabric of super passionate communities. They're not just buying ad space, they're buying into the heart of what people truly care about, and they're betting that genuine enthusiasm will do the marketing for them.
So, pillar number 1, they are going straight for the world of elite endurance athletes. I mean, think about it. A group of people that value resilience, performance, and being prepared more than almost anyone else.
And they are going in big. A $2.5 million deal to become the official lost item protection of the Ironman Global Series. Now, this is way more than a logo on a race bib. We're talking total saturation. Their name on finish line arches, on podiums, during the live broadcasts. It creates this powerful subconscious link in your brain. Ironman means toughness and peak performance, and ReboundTAG means you're prepared for anything.
Okay, for their second pillar, they're tapping into something else entirely. The insane, almost tribal loyalty of American college sports fans. And they found a really clever backdoor to do it.
So check this out, because this is the genius part. This chart shows this crazy inefficiency in the market. In college basketball, more than half the viewers, 57%, are watching during the regular season. But only about a quarter of the ad money is spent then. Most brands wait and pile everything into March Madness, which leaves this huge, undervalued audience wide open for the take. So for a $1.25 million investment, they're getting the title sponsorship of a college football bowl game with over 2.5 million viewers, plus a huge presence in college basketball. And they're tapping into an audience where almost half the fans say they are more likely to consider a brand just because it's a sponsor. That is loyalty you just can't buy, except they kinda are.
Their third pillar is a really forward-thinking bet. They're jumping into one of the fastest-growing, most exciting movements in the entire sports world right now.
And the why behind this move is just unbelievable. The data shows that for every single dollar a brand spends on women's sports sponsorships, they get an estimated $7 back in customer value. The ROI is astronomical because viewership is exploding, and the fans are incredibly loyal and appreciative of the brands that show up and support their leagues.
So here, they're putting in up to $1 million to be a community game changer with teams like the legendary Portland Thorns. But notice, this isn't just about slapping a logo on a jersey. It's about co-hosting youth camps, supporting women's leadership initiatives. It's about building the brand by proving they share the same values as the community they're in. It's genuine.
All right, so after embedding themselves in all these passionate, targeted communities, the fourth and final pillar is to take all that momentum and push for mass awareness and global saturation.
And this is where they really go for the whole shebang. They're becoming an official partner of the soccer giant Arsenal FC for massive global reach. They're integrating with Canada's national basketball teams, from the pros down to the grassroots. And then they're dropping another $750,000 on a media blitz with iHeartMedia, aiming to hit 20 million sets of ears in the biggest travel markets in the US.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, you have this really smart product that solves a real-world problem, and you fuse it with this incredibly aggressive, super nuanced marketing attack. So what does it all mean? What are we looking at here?
The roadmap is pretty clear, and just as ambitious. First, use all these partnerships to launch globally and drive those early sales. Then, use that momentum to become a household name, getting the product into airports and big box stores. And then, long-term, you take that core tech and expand it into totally new industries: shipping, logistics, maybe even construction.
Which really just leaves us with one big question. In a world that is so crowded and so noisy, is this the new blueprint? Could this model of literally manufacturing fame by authentically embedding your product into the heart of our shared passions be the way great brands are built from now on?